Heyo guys, welcome back to the channel. No fancy intro or anything like that for this video because it's a very different style that I'm normally not making, so here we go. So for those that may not have heard, Microsoft went and laid off a lot of people, and Turn 10 took a huge hit on that, losing over half, I think over half its staff now, or maybe just at half, one of the two. But either way, they lost a lot of people, and needless to say, that's gonna really hit us hard as Forza Motorsports players. So at the time of doing this voiceover, I did in fact read an article on a Discord server that I'm a part of that is primarily racing focused, and it confirmed we're not gonna get any more Forza Motorsport titles at all. Instead, the rest of the Turn 10 employees that didn't get laid off are going to be tasked on the Horizon series. And with the staff being moved over to the Horizon series, who knows how much longer we're going to have support for Motorsport at this point. I mean, I'm expecting updates to be very little to none, and I wouldn't even be surprised if the server shut down here soon due to lack of support. Granted, I'm pretty sure a majority of the player base was going to see this coming, just due to how not so good the game's launch truly was. I mean, let's face it, they didn't really deliver on some of their promises. The car upgrading system just did not make much sense at launch, so everyone was just, if anything, they were just taping a rubber band or something around their gas, making it to where it was fully assisted, and leveling up their cars just so they could build it how they want. And of course, it came with a bunch of bugs and glitches that kind of just showed, hey, look, this game should have been developed a little bit longer in the end. So, but at the same time, with the updates that did come out, it did start bringing some people back, and even some of the bigger names who wrote the game off as a bit of a cash grab in a weird way started saying, hey, we might actually start replaying this game again. And if I get on a personal note here, Forza Motorsport was the game where I first got to experience tracks like Fujimi Kaido and Sunset Panorama Peninsula or something like that, because for those that don't know, I didn't get into the Forza series until Forza Horizon 4, and I didn't get into the Motorsport series until Forza Motorsport 7, which I played after I played Horizon 4. So, to me, you could say I missed out on a good time of racing, and I felt like this game, with the update path they were going for near the end, I probably could have been able to see what the huge buzz was back in the early 2000s and so forth, up until Forza Motorsport 4. Now, one of the main things I do want to go over in this video, and I'm going to go ahead and get to that now, is just how much of a loss the racing community is going to have when this series is done, basically. So, after I heard about the huge Turn 10 layoff situation, my immediate reaction was to go on Steam and Xbox and stuff like that in order to find a new racing game to play, because, to be honest, like I said, I'm not sure how much longer these servers are going to be open. And when I played some of the games that I found, one of the things that we lack is a variety of racing. I mean, we got GT2, we got GT3, we got the touring class, we got NASCAR, we've got the Mazda Formula series, along with other spec-built series like the Miata series, the Muscle Car series, game modes like that. And of course, if you get bored of that, you could literally just build a car and go into an open lobby. Speaking of the open lobbies, there's really not any other games other than the Forza Motorsport series when it comes to track racing that will allow you to take just about any street car. In my case right now, for what you're seeing on screen, is the IROC Z Camaro, and build it for basically any class, any type of track, and really, really just have the amount of freedom to build what you want and race what you want, essentially. Like, if I wanted to, I could take this Camaro, take the race tires off, put stock ones on there, make the rear tires a lot wider, throw a V12 in here, and go on Road America and just go down one of the straights in like 5 seconds or something. And the only other game that comes close to allow you to take your favorite car and turn it into a racing beast, at least to my knowledge, is the Need for Speed series. And I don't think I need to tell you guys that game series is not as good as it once was. I mean, look at Most Wanted and how renowned that game is compared to its 2012 reboot. And it seemed like most sim racing games anymore strictly focus on BOPs like the GT circuit or the arcade side like Need for Speed. So it kind of makes it to where we have no middle ground anymore. And with Forza Motorsport being that perfect middle ground between simulation and arcade, it almost made it perfect for those that wanted to get into sim racing. I mean, if you really think about it, thanks to the assists, you could turn them on and make it to where it was more arcadey until you got a feel for the car and wanted to change up the assists, like turning off the braking line, making it to where the steering was more simulated, make it to where ABS, traction control, and stuff like that is turned off. So at the end of the day, I have a feeling that once Forza Motorsport is finally gone, we might have a tough time finding the next generation of sim racers. Because, let's face it, they won't really have anything to really practice on outside of maybe Gran Turismo, but even then, that's more on the simulation side versus the arcade side. And 9 times out of 10, people are probably going to be playing against AI. And even though you can set the AIs to be really fast, racing against actual players is a completely different ball game, and without a good arcade slash simulation balance, trying to find that perfect middle ground or finding that perfect way to hone your skills in is going to make getting into sim racing that much more difficult, if you ask me. Not to mention just how fast the sim racing community actually is. And I'm pretty sure if someone wanted to get into it, they'd pop into an online lobby, probably lose so bad that they get so discouraged that they just don't want to do it anymore. And thanks to Forza Motorsport and its assists, it made it to where they could slowly but surely make it to where they get better and eventually make it to where they could get to those times, basically. Now, since this seems to be Microsoft's main focus, I will go back to the Horizon series and basically share my thoughts on it. Now, like I said, I did start on Forza Horizon 4, and I loved it to the point where it did get me into Forza Motorsport 7. Now, don't get me wrong, I do still have fun with Forza Horizon 5, but the thing that we don't 100% have in that game is good actual track racing. Like, it's mainly just closed off streets in a way, street racing. I mean, yeah, we got dirt rallies, which those could be fun, but either way, being able to hop on tracks like Mid-Ohio, a track I live an hour and a half away from, be able to actually run on it with any car I want, and have it actually feel accurate to the actual track is something that I will always enjoy. And even though the Forza Horizon 5 community have done a good job in trying to get some of these tracks made and put into Forza Horizon 5, it still doesn't really feel 100% the same. I mean, if I were to go off track here at Brands right now, I would lose a lot of time, probably lose like 2 or 3 positions. Where if I did that on a track on Forza Horizon 5, given how they have the game set up, I'd probably lose no time at all and basically just be able to corner cut. Because the community is smart enough to where they put the flags or flares or whichever one they want to use in very strategic spots to where you absolutely have to take a chicane the way it's intended. Otherwise, you're going to miss that checkpoint. But at the same time, it's like that risk factor of, hey, look, if I were to try to take this corner faster, will doing so pay off in the end? Or am I going to end up losing a lot of time because I decided to turn this car into an expensive lawnmower and such? So, to start wrapping up my thoughts on this, guys, I feel like Microsoft doing away with Forza Motorsport is going to be a heavier loss in the racing community than what some to most might want to admit. One thing that I feel like Forza Motorsport did better than almost any other console racing game that was to play off as a sim game was balance out the arcadey feel and realism that a lot of people might need in order to start slowly getting into sim racing in the end. Take the GT racing, for example. If you go into Forza Horizon 5 and get into the GT2 series Ford GT, you could drive that no problem and basically have a good time. Then you could get into Forza Motorsport, get in the same car, and slowly realize in order to be fast in the thing, you're going to have to learn how to tune it, and of course figure out how to trail brake, ease on the throttle, and such like that. And of course, if you truly wanted to, you can make it harder by turning on sim steering and make it to where the moment you move that analog stick, it's going to turn on a dime and such. Then, of course, once you get that figured out and make it to where you can control the car with ease, get in that same car in, like, Assetto Corsa, and basically have a good amount of knowledge right before you even get into the game. So all you gotta do is get in the car, get in the track, and learn what the car is going to do at the end of the day. So, before I go, guys, I do want to be clear. When I said that servers might be going down, I do actually want to be wrong about that, because, to be honest, I enjoy racing in Forza Motorsport, even though on a wheel it's not the best. But at the same time, it's one of those games where I can still race casually, but at the same time show to be slightly serious when it comes to track racing. Versus something like Forza Horizon, where anymore, all I'm really doing is just getting a Mustang and learning how to drift anymore. But if we want to take it on a realistic factor, it seems like that's the most logical thing, considering that a majority of Turn 10 staff anymore is just going to be focusing on Forza Horizon. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have to shut down the servers because they cannot sacrifice the manpower to keep them up and running. But nonetheless, it is only 3 or 4 days after the Microsoft layoffs that I am doing this voiceover, so I could be jumping the gun and saying this might happen. And again, I hope I'm wrong on that, but I'm going to try and find a racing game that I could be casual yet serious at the same time. And with that being said, guys, pretend I said something corny here to get you to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully the Forza Motorsport servers stay open so that I keep making this content for you guys. See y'all later.